2, 1. We're live.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Monday night, and that can only mean one thing. The Degenerates with Dice Monday Night RPG Talk Show is back in your fucking face again. Woo! Tonight we got Joe, we got Kristen, we got Jen, and once again you got this dipshit right here, and I'm Noah. That makes 4 lovely people here to talk to you and walk you through this wonderful thing that we call RPG Talk Show. How we doing, folks?
Good.
Pretty
Ready
good.
It's a
for
good day. It's a good day. I'm proud you
makes
can
for a
count,
good Monday.
Noah.
You're what?
I'm proud you can count.
Oh,
makes
did I get
4
it right? I
You
just
did.
guessed.
Good job.
I just guessed.
You
Bro,
did so good. You did so good.
I was like, 4.
Gotta take your shoes off for that one.
Well, it was throwing me off because I looked up in the top right at the viewer count and it said 5, and then I looked down at
Oh.
the screen and went, shit.
That's not right. No.
Oh, you know, fuck it, whatever. So, once again, we're back on a Monday night talking about tabletop, talking about RPGs, talking about gaming in general. And I think tonight's topic we decided on is women in the gaming space. What it is, what it was, what do we see in the future, you know. So, yeah. That's what we're going to be bullshitting about tonight.
Yeah, we have the pleasure of having 3 girls in our group, so we figure we might as well use that to highlight some things that
Well,
me and Noah may not
I'm
know
not
too
gonna
much
lie.
about.
I thought you were about to say we were going to use these 3 girls to our advantage, and I was very concerned. But I'm so glad you did not finish the sentence that was happening in my head.
No.
are you not counting our GM?
Wait, so we have 4 girls? We have 4
Yeah.
girls?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Millie.
Maddie,
Yeah.
Sadie, Millie, and Kazar.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we have 4.
You
Yeah.
forgot Millie?
Dude, the
Because she's not here. She's not here.
She gonna get you with that rolling pin.
Oh, she will.
I don't
She
know
will.
how we are oriented on your stream, but on my monitor right now, the top half of this broadcast cannot count.
We're trying
Check
our
your
best.
privilege.
We're trying our
Check your
best.
privilege.
Yeah, check your privilege. All right, so I guess
All right,
we should
so
start it out.
Here we go.
Maddie will be in later. She'll join us to give us her insights. But I know, Kristen, you talked earlier on the last podcast about how you kind of weren't allowed to play games with the other guys. So if you want to just kind of give us
Yeah.
your background on all of that, kind of go from
Yeah,
there.
Like-
the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
Like, for those that know me, y'all know that I can be abrasive. I can also be very much like a freight train. But the one thing that I couldn't get my way on was tabletop gaming. I wanted so bad to play D&D with the boys in high school. And all of my friends that played D&D were just kind of like, yeah, no. I mean, I don't know if it was they didn't want to grow at their table or they didn't want to take time to explain things to me. I don't know. But I was really, really gate kept, and I didn't start playing tabletop until I was well into my 30s. And that was because I had children that wanted to play, boys that wanted to play. So I was looking for an avenue for my son at the time, but I felt like I was definitely kind of kept at arm's length, and it sucked. And I didn't know enough to like start my own game, like I do now.
I mean,
I wasn't brave enough. Oh, I'm sorry. What? No.
Oh, nothing. See, I don't make verbal personal attacks to my friends and fellow tabletop members. I just make
your face.
passive aggressive hand gestures. That's all I do.
You want some sticky notes? Sticky notes are passive aggressive.
Oh,
Yeah, they are. They're very passive aggressive.
yes.
They're very passive aggressive.
They are.
So are company-wide emails.
It's true. It's true.
I'm getting some drop
But-
frames here.
It's really funny whenever I tell like guys in general that I run 3 tables of tabletop gaming, the reaction I get is not one of like, oh, that's so cool. It's like, really? Like it's almost like it doesn't compute.
Do they assume it's My Little Pony role play?
They don't outright say that, but it's very much like, oh, you're into that stuff. Like you're into dragons, or you're into, you know, dice, or you're into like imagination stuff. I'm like, I'm sure your wife imagines with you all the time, but they don't. I don't know. It's funny because it doesn't compute whenever you tell some guys that you run games or you play, tabletops, and they're just like, I don't understand.
Which is kind of wild to me because I've been a nerd my entire fucking life. Like this isn't a new thing, you know?
You're so good at it.
Yeah, I know, right? That's like about it. But um that and being spastic as fuck. But like I dude, when I was a kid, we would have killed for girls to come out and hang out with us doing nerd shit. Like it's such a foreign fucking concept to me for dudes to gatekeep women in
Yeah.
anything.
Now,
Anything
hold on.
really.
I
But
don't know if it was specifically because
especially.
I'm a girl or because I'm me. I don't. There's.
So, we all here love you very much and adore you and love playing at your tables. It probably wasn't because you were a woman. In your case,
It's most likely because of my personality. It's all of this that they couldn't deal with. Yeah, I understand that. That makes sense. That makes sense.
we love you.
You have to. I'm your god.
It's not true.
She's the HBIC
Well,
on Wednesdays.
we let her think that most of the
For
time.
2 hours on Wednesdays, I am the HBIC.
Yeah, we let her think that.
Sorry to everyone in chat. We're kind of slow right now. I'm having network issues, so I apologize, but we'll keep going.
What's wrong with your network?
It's just slowing down for some reason, even in performance mode. But let's just keep going. We can just keep talking.
It's all the awesome.
Well, Jen, what about you? What's been your experience getting into the space?
I started gaming due to depression. Um, I started World of Warcraft was my very first like online game, and there you don't really have you have text chat, so it's easier to be a girl because of the anonymity. And I was in a guild, and it's hey, get on Discord so we can do our raids and we can talk to everybody. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And it was a bit weird because usually when with text games, and it's not as bad as it used to be, though it can be. You get
Have
the
you heard of
whole
Call of Duty?
that's one I haven't played before, and it's really funny that I don't like first person shooters usually, but I play Fallout every day, and that's a first person shooter.
But it's Fallout, so
Eh,
And it's I started with World of Warcraft, did that for a while, and it was a way to and Fallout was as well was a way for me to not really deal with my depression, but to I felt more productive if I sat there and played a game all day long than if I took a nap on the couch. So if I wasn't playing a game, that's what I would do, would nap on the couch. And that still holds to this day. So it's my way of saying, screw you, depression. I'm
right.
going to do something productive ish instead of just sleep. Um, but coming over to Fallout was actually my husband's suggestion because he's a gamer. He's been gaming his entire life. He does not do tabletop gaming. And he does not do 76 because he doesn't consider it a Fallout game. But he's played all the other
Nerd.
Fallouts. um, so usually, like when I'm playing on the computer, because me and controllers just don't get along. I'm much better with mouse and keyboard.
Uh,
Um, he plays his
Hashtag PC
PlayStation while
Master
I'm on
Race.
the computer. Um,
I
so
think we
that's
just.
that's
Oh.
about it.
Well, in as far as using gaming to combat depression and stuff like that, like my job, my real life job is very stressful and it's very high stakes. It's very high risk. Not high risk. It's very high stakes. If I screw up my job, then it really does affect a lot of people's lives. So it's a lot of pressure, and I am kind of a perfectionist, and I put it on myself. But before COVID hit, I used to go play pool by myself, Like I used to just go shoot pool for hours just because it's straight lines, it's physics, it's math, like it makes sense. And when COVID hit, I couldn't do that anymore, uh, because we were all kind of sequestered to the house. And I started playing Fallout and 76. The friends that I developed were amazing. Of course, everybody jokes that girl stands for guy in real life on games. and, and it people are amazed. They're like, oh, like when you get on the mic, it's like, oh, you really are a chick. Yeah, I am. But I was playing ESO for a while, me and one of my really, really good friends. And one day, her and I spent like 8 hours busting our asses, just leveling up. And we were in this guild and we were doing all these things. And then we were so proud. Like we had gotten so much stuff and we had leveled up so many times and we had done all these things. And this guy comes in and he's like, the only reason that you're where you're at in this guild is because you have tits. And it was like a slap in the face because we're like, we wanted to share this with you. We were so excited. We were so, happy about this. We were proud. And then you just took all that away from us by saying that we didn't, because we're in a group of guys that we're chicks, that we got where we are, like not on our own accord, not on our own merit. And
So
you get that a lot.
do you find it easier now than it was in the past? To like
To be a girl? No, not at
no
all.
no. to how do I put this without sounding like a complete total fucking moron? Fuck it, I'll shoot my shot. Do you
I'm used
find
to
it
it. Go ahead.
easier to just be a woman in the space now than you did? Is what I'm trying to say.
I don't think I can really answer that question because I'm always unapologetically myself.
That's for goddamn
So
sure.
I'm like, I'm here. You can either be okay with it or you can leave. Like, so I don't think I'm more or less okay with being a female in this space. I am better equipped to stand up for myself and hold my own. And I'll take, like, I would take days and not play with anybody and play by myself and learn the game and read online and learn so that when people came at me, I'd be like, here, I know my stuff, like to kind of prove myself. But I am absolutely better equipped to hold my own and tell people to fuck off real quick.
So
But there's,
not to, go ahead.
But there's also like, you get more than a handful of guys that are like, oh, you game and you're kind of pretty, so can I see your boobs? That's a whole other thing that happens. There's a bunch of creeps out there.
I had that the other day. It was the creepiest one I've had. I play with 2 or 3 guys, like 2 guys, like every day. We play in the evenings, and like if one of us doesn't show up, we message him going, "Hey, you okay? Where you at?" Because we always play together. And I had this random join the group, and when he heard me on mic, he's like, "Hey, how old are you?"
Oh my god, that's how you already know it's gonna be terrible.
Yeah,
It's
I'm like,
it's
"Oh, red flag."
ASL.
No.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I gave him a wrong answer, and he's like, "Well, are you married?" And I gave him a wrong answer, and he's like, "Well, do you have kids?" And I
Oh
gave him a
god.
wrong answer again, and then he left the group, and I was like, "Yay, block!"
Yeah, my
And
block list
that's
is.
I have to
that.
try that on my wife now that I think about it when she's playing Animal Crossing. Hey, you're pretty, you're playing Animal Crossing, show me your boobs.
So like, I mean, like, how can we be more inclusive than like how? I mean, like, I get like the whole not being creepy thing, but
I mean, that's a
like,
big start. Don't be creepy.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
think
play with a group of folks I played with since
Hey,
so 2019, and
I don't
Yeah.
want to.
most of the time I play with guys.
yeah.
It's just
I don't want to be rude and cut you off, but I think Maddie just said in the group chat that she is in the backstage area.
Okay.
Let Maddie in.
Yeah, I didn't
Sorry,
want
I
to
was
like.
checking the chat.
I didn't want to.
war crimes.
I didn't want to cut your thought off, but I didn't want her to think that we were ignoring her.
Joe, you're asking how we can be more inclusive, or how y'all can.
Yeah. I mean, like, I get that. Like, I mean, from my perspective, like the table is for tabletop games, at least, and even like gaming guilds is it's supposed to be a safe space, right? Like they're making a commitment to be there. Like you really don't want to mess that up by trying to interject yourself in that kind of way. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like
Well,
it's a wrong time,
don't
wrong
be
place
creepy.
sort of thing. Yeah.
And I mean, I like a good dick joke just as much as the next guy does. But like, if
Oh
you
yeah.
start like targeting them at me, that's a whole other issue. Like,
Yeah.
just don't be, and don't think that I'm a damsel in distress and
Yeah.
helpless
Yeah.
because I can't game. Trust me, I can probably outgame you and your friends. Like,
There's
but
a
that
lot of newbies that I run into, and they look
Is
at
that
my
a
level and they're like,
challenge?
"Oh, well,
it's not
she's
challenge.
level 600 something. She's got to be good." And with some newbies, I'm like, "All right, here's some stuff, here's some tips." And my husband's like, "You should change your name in game to help noob to I help noobs."
I help noobs.
Yeah, and there's some days where I'm like, okay, find this little level who's never played the game before, give them some chems and some stuff and hints and tips, and hopefully they go on their way. And there's some that are like, they'll add me friend. I'm like, okay, you can add a friend if you need anything, and then they'll like not stalk, but like always there. And I'm like, all right, you got to go. And I
Expect
had
things.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, I helped you, and you could, go. You're grown, go on,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, I'll see you around the wasteland, I promise. And I had this one I helped recently, and then I went to an event that he was at, and he was in area chat, and he was like, yo, come here, come here, this chick's hot. Like, what? So apparently he thought this person's character was hot. So he was saying that in the area chat. And I came up and my person's a skinny old lady. That's what she looks like, is a skinny old lady.
Same.
And I have another character that's she's my thick girl because she's my first one. So I was like, I wanted to try something different. And so he's like, oh wow, your character's kind of hot too. I'm like, okay, that's just creepy. So he got muted and he got blocked.
Wash
Because like
your
I'm
hands.
not
Don't.
I'm not dealing with that. It's and I find though with the maturity of the game when I see other women describing the toxicity that they face in other platforms, I find that Xbox ends up having the most toxicity,
Oh, really?
followed by PC, yeah, followed by PlayStation, and then by PC. And I don't
Hmm.
know if it's because of the demographics or if it's an age thing, because I know that most players on Xbox are usually younger, whereas most older players, well, most time you find older players on PC, but you can
Yeah.
also have those creepy guys on PC as well.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
platforms don't dictate.
Um, what was I gonna say? This is kind of a tangent, but like a little fun fact. When I used to play EVE Online, we would purposely I would play a spy, and so I would infiltrate people's corporations. And to do that, I would always play a woman, because it was guaranteed to get in if I played a woman. So I would always play a woman to get into the corporations. And
Mm-hmm.
just as a little side note, like if you want to honeypot a nerd, you don't even have to be a woman. You just have to play a woman for 5 minutes. And you can steal their stuff.
Guy in real life is what girl stands for. Guy in real
Yeah.
life.
I mean,
Yeah.
I play a lot of PUBG because I'm insane and not right in the head. But there's
you're fun.
no, yeah, there's no like Call of Duty hit detection to where I just gotta like hit you in a certain area and that registers. You actually like have to hit them in that spot type of situation, right? So my character is definitely a female for that exact reason because it is a whole lot thinner and harder to fucking hit. Now, I will absolutely get on open mic comms and trash talk the toxic fuck out of everybody in that lobby, but I'm holding it down for you guys. I just want you to know.
Appreciate you. You're a real one. Thanks.
I appreciate it.
With that being a female character, I think that I think that's why some women will play male characters
Yeah,
just so
just
they
be
don't
left
have to.
alone.
Yeah, so that's one way to kind of avoid the harassment besides staying off mic.
Or
And
some
then,
women won't like get on mic at all.
because they know as soon as they do, they're gonna hear of, oh my God, you're a girl. Hey,
Yeah.
send me some pics, or where do you live? What do you do? You need a boyfriend? I know. Back off, creep. I'm playing a game.
Yeah.
If I wanted a
I'm
date, I would go to Tinder.
I'm here for the same reasons you are. I want to play games. I want to do this. But in that same vein though, I have left being part of some tabletop games because I was being harassed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was like not even a like I'm pretty good at like changing the subject and things like that if
Yeah. It
you know
gets
and
weird.
kind of redirecting conversation if it gets weird. But even like being flat out going no, like no means no, and it still doesn't stop because they think you're a chick, you're here on this table with me, you're wanting to be here, like, and it must be me, it must be me, that's why you keep coming back.
Yeah.
No, it's actually my character because I'm having a lot of fun with that. But you know, but I've left tables in the middle of campaigns because I've literally been harassed.
Jesus.
Which once again brings me back to my point of it blows my mind to hear people say that, just because, like I said, I, all of my friends would have fucking
Yeah.
killed to have any woman,
Yeah.
whether they be our age or 95 and almost dying, to walk in, sit at the fucking table, roll some dice, pick up a controller. We would have killed for that because we were crucified for it on a daily basis because of what we were into. Oh, you're the fucking gamer nerds. Fuck those
Yeah.
guys. So it's just it just, like I said, it blows my fucking mind that there are still people who fucking act like this. It really does.
Well,
Especially because I mean, like, it it seems that it, all the things that I used to get made fun of for as a kid are kind of like mainstream and the hot thing to do now.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
mhm.
Like, I used to get made fun of constantly because I would come home and play fucking video games. I was the only kid in my class with a fucking Nintendo. Like, for real. And now I don't know a single fucking person who doesn't have some kind of quote
System.
unquote gaming system in their house.
Mhm.
Period. And the top grossing movies in the world are what?
Dungeons and
Marvel.
Dragons is pretty
Movies,
big.
Marvel.
Marvel. Yeah.
Marvel and Star
DC.
Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Star
Stranger
Wars. Yeah.
Things has taken over Netflix, and it's their
Yeah.
biggest fucking show by incredible margins.
And like
Right?
meanwhile, when I was in high school, I was getting pushed into lockers for playing D&D. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
crazy.
exactly.
Right.
And that's
Like,
and
that's
that's
the thing.
fine. Like I mean, it was the past, but it's just it's interesting.
Well, but okay, so I got this from my mom, like, cause my mom, you remember the first like CD-ROM game system that ever came out, the 3DO?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
We had one of those,
Oh
and
wow.
I've got an Odyssey still in the box. Like, I've got all these things, so I grew up in it. Like, I've always had a game system. I've always played. I've always been kind of nerdy, but I've also been accused of being a fake nerd because I'm pretty.
Yeah, but that's just because
Yeah,
of
you can't
people's
have beauty and
insecurities. Yeah.
brains. It's
Yeah.
just
Right.
People are
completely
so
unheard of.
insecure.
But I'm living proof that you can have beauty
I
and brains.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right. No, but like I've had to
Um,
justify. Like I've had people like make me justify my love of nerdy things. I'm like, I don't. Why are you asking me these things? Like, why are you wanting me to list the stats for this? Or it's like you wearing a band shirt and somebody going, name all their songs.
yeah. Yeah. Everyone's always trying to make girls prove that there's something that they're not. Like it's weird like that. It's like you wear a Metallica t-shirt and all of a sudden you gotta like name all of their albums in order for you to like Metallica.
Right. Like, but why though?
I don't know. I don't do that. I mean, I don't know. Like,
Insecurity.
yeah, that's all
You
it
do
is.
what, Jen?
Security.
Like, just let everybody live their lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's insecure with themselves and they're like, well, can this person, am I superior to somebody?
Yeah.
Well, I
And I
mean, I
get it.
think
It's like, oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Joe.
Well, I think that a lot of these guys who are like that really don't know even how to speak to women, so they might resent women a little bit on some level. You know what I mean? Because they're like generally the guys who do that are not like the guys who actually have women look at them and stuff like that. So maybe they just kind of resent women to a certain degree, and so it's like, well, you can't you know be a girl and like the things that I like because at least I have this, but now I don't have this because you're into it now. You know what I mean?
And Kristen, that might have
Maybe
been a
that's
problem with the D&D things is with being gay kept out of it is that they could be sexist of whether just
yeah.
I want to just be with the guys. I don't want to have to watch myself because of some dainty girl,
Right.
some bullshit like that.
Well, I mean, there is kind of a facet to that I can like IRL back up. You know what I mean? Because my big table, the one that we were talking about earlier before we went live, so two of my best friends on the planet are at that table, along with my wife, my daughter, and both of their wives. Right. And so it's I'm not saying you get a different version of Noah at that table, but you definitely don't get the
Uncensored or raw.
you definitely don't get the 2 o'clock in the morning. Hey, we've all had a couple bourbon and cokes, and it's just the boys playing Halo. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I'm kind of like I'm a little bit more reserved because and granted,
Gotta
it's
set a
not that
good
they can't handle it.
example.
Yeah, it's not that they can't handle it. What's up, baby? There are biscuits on the stove. Would you put like 2 on a plate? Thanks, boo. I love you. Yeah, she plays at my table, and she hears me say all kinds of unruly things, but huh? Unruly is not the right word. It's an understatement, apparently. No, just 2 biscuits.
But
Thanks, boo. But I do at least try to tone it down out of not that they can't handle it, because let's face it, I know who their husbands are. They're like me. So it's not that they don't fucking hear it, you know what I mean? But it's
Yeah.
and I don't know if it's that Southern, I'm scared to death my mama might slap the shit out of me if she fucking heard me say something like that in the presence of a woman. Because that's a real thing if you grew up down here. Just
It is.
saying. But so I'm not saying that it's the right way to go about it, but I'm saying, I mean, I personally will tone it down sometimes. Now with Kristen, fuck that.
Well, I'm honored.
100%.
I'm honored.
Thank you, sweetheart.
But
Yeah, fuck that.
When I play, I
100%.
want to be treated like one of the guys. I'm good. I'll laugh at dick and fart jokes. I'll make some of my own. I'll throw shade and do shit. And when I'm playing with a group, if I'll automatically assume that somebody's gender is male most of the time, because that's what kind of gaming world we live in, is that most of the players are male. But I'll catch myself doing that, and I will try to do more of a they instead of he. But in the end, I call everybody dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, dude, what the fuck? Dude,
Right.
come on, dude.
Bro,
And y'all.
Go through me and Kristen's text, and you'll see me going, bro.
Bro.
Oh, I have
Bruh.
3
Bruh.
sons. I have been bruh.
Yeah,
I've
Bruh.
been bruh
billion
and
percent.
bro.
Okay,
Yeah.
but okay, toning it down though is not the same as outright refusing to interact or play with someone.
No,
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. I mean, like, to be fair, I toned it down pretty much with everybody. You know what I mean? Because it's like you still should be watching what you're saying around a group of people. You know what I mean? Like, even if they're your friends. Like, I had a friend who, he, let's just put it this way. He said some extremely vulgar stuff he was DMing, and he said some extremely vulgar stuff at the table. And he pretty much killed that campaign because it's like, okay, well, we're friends, but I don't need to know what you're into, like, right at this moment, sort of thing. To a girl that he did
Right.
not know, like, just beam directly at her. And so it's like, like, watch what you say. Even if they're your friends, like, it's not like that. You know what I mean? Like, don't don't think that you just have free
Right.
reign to.
Well, and that we touched on this last week, but whenever I first started playing with you guys, not Noah, but with the other two, I sent out a consent form of what are you like okay with and what are you not okay with, because comfort at my table makes for a better game, because people who are comfortable will play, like be more into it. They play
Yeah, yeah,
My
and they
oldest
enjoy it.
son is a DM for I think he's got 2 campaigns that he runs. And I mentioned that to him when you sent it to me. I asked him, I said, do you do something like this for your table? And he said, no, I know everybody.
that
Well,
doesn't mean
within
anything.
the past
No.
within the past few months, his table took a vote to kick one of the members because that member um, did some inappropriate actions to somebody else's character, and nobody was okay with that. So he was like,
Yeah.
"Nah, bro, you got to go. You're done. That's it. Your character, you done, dropped, banned, blocked.
To a
Like-
Not
character?
having it."
And
To the person. Character.
Oh my
Yeah, but
God,
he had his character do something to another person's character, and it happened
It's
to be a female playing a female
Yeah.
character.
no,
And it's
I
and it's
have
always
responsibility.
and I don't want to know what you're into, and it's always
No.
like the thing is like when you do like sexual stuff like that at the table, the girl just knows immediately like exactly what you're thinking about as you're
Oh, yeah.
staring at her. You know what I mean? Like it's
100%.
just awkward. It's like
Well,
and
Well, it's like
really
perfect-
messed up.
perfect example at the Fallout table, right?
Yeah.
What is the one joke that we've been on for like the last 2 months? It's
flared base.
it's the flared
base.
base thing, right?
Vertebrates have a
Everybody-
flared base.
Vertebrates have a flared base, so they are safe. But it's like it's not me looking at Joe and going,
Yeah.
"Hey, do you wanna,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know what I mean?" Like I wouldn't do it to
Yeah.
anybody in that
Yeah.
situation, and that fucking excuse of, oh, that's what my character would do.
No.
Go
Yeah, that's not
fuck
no,
yourself.
yeah,
Go
absolutely.
fuck yourself.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I take my responsibility as a GM very, very seriously.
yeah,
About
yeah.
like we cut up, y'all all know my tables are complete freaking chaos all the time. But we
Oh,
cut
yeah.
up, we have
wild.
fun,
If the audio
But-
got leaked, we're all going to prison.
right? But I also
We're all on the
understand
list.
that no matter how you're playing your character or what, even Joe playing his as an NPC basically, those are still extensions of you
yeah,
as a person.
yeah.
Because there's a little piece of you in all of them.
And I mean,
And-
beyond that, it's also like trigger warnings too. Like you don't know what people have
Absolutely.
gone through.
No.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
it's my
cut you off.
responsibility. No, you're fine. It's my responsibility as a GM to make sure that I protect your characters with my life, with
Yeah.
with my credibility. Because the second that one of you goes, "Fuck her table, it's not a safe place to be," like that's the worst thing you could ever say to me is that I'm
Yeah.
not a safe person to be around.
Yeah, yeah. Same. I'd rather you just say like, "Hey, I hate your game because you're boring," than to say, "Hey, I hate your game because it's not safe to be at your table." Like, you know what I mean?
I don't
Like,
know. I
like
don't feel safe around Kristen's table. I'm pretty sure my character's gonna die at any second.
Yeah,
You
but
flew
I
a vertibird
feel like-
straight down.
yeah.
If you die, it's your fault.
wait. Didn't you invert a vertibird and like kill a bunch of people? Like that was the thing that happened, and who's not safe?
Chicken nugget.
I'm just messing with Kristen.
Value mill over here.
All
Yeah,
right,
like,
all
it's just-
right.
They have this thing called an X card too, which you can like hold up or do whatever like in the moment, like because you never know. Like even if you sign a consent form, you might not know what triggers you in that moment, and so they do have X cards
Right.
too for that, where it's like,
Yeah.
all right, I can't deal with this. Please stop, and then you just don't ask questions about it because it's not my business
And-
what triggers you. The only thing that's my
No.
business is that you are triggered, and we need to move on to something different.
Yeah.
Because I have
And if you are
PTSD, you know what I
triggered-
mean? Like,
It
You
is
know,
full stop. It is full
Yeah.
stop. No questions asked. Done.
Well, it's like
And-
Kristen, you and I talked when I was getting ready to join your table, right?
Mhm.
And I think it was the other table, is what we were
Uh-huh.
talking about, and you were like, "Hey,
Noah plays on 2 of my tables, by the way.
huh?
yeah.
Noah plays on 2 of my tables.
Oh yeah, yeah. I thought she was making air quotes. I was like, bitch, what?
No
Talking about?
ways.
I go hard on both
Supposedly
these tables. Get
Two
out of here.
of my tables.
Human beings. Wait, no, continue.
Yeah. But it was the whole hey, like, I'm not saying that I know you, but I see your social feed, and just a heads up, this one group kind of rolls this way. you know is that still cool? And I was like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's not a game breaker for me what anybody else thinks. You know what I mean? It's really none of my business, to be 100% honest, right? But at the same time, like, if I say something, and just like I told Kristen, I was like, look, I'm loud, I'm obnoxious, I have no fucking filter whatsoever, and
That all
all
tracks.
all yeah, all that goes with that, right? But I said, hey, if I say something that gets out of line, number one, I don't ever mean to be 100% like blatantly offensive on purpose to you for
Right.
any reason. And if you just go, hey, roulette back about 2 clicks,
Yeah.
we're good to go. You know what I mean? And it'll never happen again. We won't cross that line.
Yeah.
But you know,
There's a big
so
difference though than in making a wisecrack that may have been a little bit like off color and being blatantly like just mean and disrespectful or crossing people's boundaries that you know are
Yeah.
boundaries.
Yeah. Or
yeah,
things that are unsaid boundaries, like, doing weird stuff around women, like our two women's characters. I mean, that's even if they don't say it, that's an implied boundary, like no matter what. Like
Yeah.
that's like there's certain things that are just implied that you just don't do.
Yeah.
But
No. Well, and on the other table that I run, there was a situation where one of the guys, the girl kind of sold him into a sex act situation where he was
oof,
being held captive.
yeah.
But no,
Saturday
before it
would have
all
been
started,
down.
yeah, it was Tamsin and Winter. But anyway, before it all started though, I asked, like, I paused the game. I said, okay, above the table, are you going to commit to the bit? Like, I need consent before we move forward with this. And
Yeah.
I asked for consent at that point because I knew what I was planning, and I knew, like, I'd known him for a long time. I knew that it wasn't going to be an issue, but I stopped the whole game and, like, above the table, I need consent for this because I don't want to do something that you're not okay with. And he's comfortable enough with me to either tell me to fuck off or to continue.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I fully need you guys on any of my tables to trust me and be comfortable enough with me and trust me with your characters and your game and your storyline to want to
There's
be there because you're giving me your time.
Well, because
Yeah.
it makes for a better game that way.
Yeah.
What were
If
you
you
gonna say,
can,
Joe?
if you,
Oh, Noah, if you wanna.
well, I was gonna say, if like the entire table can work together and trust each other enough to just let everybody do them, while still going, okay, there are some lines, and we might even have to figure those out as we go, but if we find them, then we respect them. It makes for a better time.
Mhm.
I
It
think the
makes for a
energy
better
of our
game.
table just works really, really well. I think
Yeah.
everybody works well together. We've got our, we're a bunch of misfits, but we're our misfits.
That's
Yeah.
an
An island of misfit
understatement.
toys.
Yeah.
Well, and when I got y'all's consent forms back, because I had enough people to run 2 tables of Fallout, and I
Oh
had
yeah,
kind
that's
of
right.
separated
Yeah.
you guys into like not necessarily
Thanks for the
like-minded.
follow.
Oh, sweet. Not necessarily like-minded, but groups I thought would get along well. And
Yeah.
then there was people that I flat out, like, I read their sheet and I was like, you can't play. Like, this is not okay. And I've
Yeah.
actually asked people to leave my other table. I'm like, you can't play on our table anymore. Like, it's bad for
Yeah.
the group. It's a bad vibe. It's you're gross. And just go away.
Yeah,
You're
and like
gross.
there's
I
like
love
if I get a consent form back and there's nothing on it, like everything's okay, I get a little concerned. Like you have to have some boundaries somewhere. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Well,
everything can't be okay. Like you can't
in
just
the
have like
Fallout
child
world,
harm and all that.
yeah. Well, in the
So
Fallout world, there's a lot of things that you see in the game that, like, abusive things that are kind
yeah,
of done off screen.
yeah,
So you kind of know what you're getting into with Fallout, but I was bound and determined to not make anyone feel like And what I didn't want, because I especially knew that I had a bunch of people who had never played tabletop before, I didn't want to ruin tabletop
Yeah.
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 for them, because that would have devastated me.
You've done the
Because I
exact
love it.
opposite though, because of you and because of our table, I want to play more tables and more variety, and I've been watching more videos of different D&D groups, you
Good.
know, and how they do everything. And I love that it's not just Dungeons and Dragons like I thought it was initially the first time I ever heard of it. It's whatever environment you want.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and I think that
And
is awesome. There's no
and you
rules.
can, and we joke.
Well,
There's
within
some rules. There's
reason.
some rules.
There's some rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we joke that tabletop gaming is free therapy, but
Yeah.
I can watch people like work through whatever they're dealing with in their personal life through their characters, and that's kind of a sacred experience. And I want everyone, and I want girls to be okay and be silly and have fun. And I run a table at my job for high school kids, and one girl has been on it. I've been running the game club for 3 years. The first year she played on my table. The second year she ran her own table because, and
Wow.
she told me, she goes, you showed me that girls can run games, and you gave me the confidence to run games, because you ask for, like, if you're stuck, you're like, give me an idea or help me or whatever. You don't have to know everything. And she goes,
Yeah.
and you've taught me so much about just giving me enough confidence, even in myself, in my personal life, not necessarily just on the tabletop, to be who I am. And I appreciate that. And that means the freaking world to me.
And I mean, I think that's what we all want. I mean, like Nora was talking about earlier, like, I mean, like, we really want girls to be a part of this game. It should be 50-50 like everything else. And it just kind of sucks that hasn't been the case for so long. But I mean, I'm glad to hear that, you know, she had the confidence after you showed her that and how to do it. Like, I've learned a lot from GMing from you too. You know what I mean? It's just like,
Oh.
you know, it's like,
Really?
yeah.
Don't worry, I haven't.
Yeah.
My
Have to be able
oldest
to
son
learn, Noah.
that runs his campaigns, I told him, I said, you should tune in tonight. I said, not just because I'm your mom. I said, but there's experienced GMs that you may learn something from, because he homebrews a lot of his stuff. And, you know, I
Mwah.
know that listening to some other GMs, you know, could maybe give him some ideas and stuff. And because I've never listened in on his campaigns, and, you know, I've heard, you know, from outside his bedroom door of, you know, if he's laughing and having a great time with his table, and then afterwards he'll tell me, you know, hey, you know, we did this and we did this. But I swear the goal of his game master goal is to make a party wipe. I swear that's his goal.
Is he a
Tell him to
teenager? 'Cause
call
that's
me.
that's a
I
teenage
have
thing.
some creative ideas for him.
Oh yeah.
Creative. Back to air quotes.
I'll just
How
throw this
dare
out
you
there as
question my creativity
it-
behind the screen, lady?
if you want to really
What
kill
the-
some people, there's a Grim Tooth Traps. It's a book that's just full of very sadistic traps that you can throw your players into. I never recommend outwardly trying to kill your players, but if you want to do that, there's a book for it. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my gosh. Well, and circling back to last week about, you know, tips and advice and stuff, one of the things I thought about after we got off was that number one rule is, if you don't know, lie. Like,
Yeah,
just make
yeah.
it up.
Yeah, just pick it up.
And then
Make it up.
secondly, like, when I tell you guys, talk amongst yourselves for a second, because I'm trying to figure something out. Like, if you let your party talk long enough, they'll tell you exactly what they want to do.
Yeah.
Oh,
They'll
yeah.
be like, oh, conveniently, there is this gold thing or fusion
Yeah.
blocks here. Yes, absolutely there is. 100%. Was always there. Always.
Yeah, I totally thought that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Or you
tell
get
it's
lucky,
So amazing.
Or you get
Well, like-
lucky and your person rolls the correct dice to get the weapon that she wanted, that she
Yeah.
asked for
See?
before the game even started.
I don't know how that happened. Conveniently, it's not even in the book. I don't know.
Or your character's like mine and is walking around with a fat man strapped to his back and hasn't found a single mini nuke in 6 weeks.
I mean,
But
to be
and
fair,
I'm
my
playing,
character
like,
has
nobody
only
does-
killed one rad roach, so Like,
No,
I've
you
only
killed
killed
a
around.
paladin.
Did
You
I? Oh yeah,
did.
that's right. I curb
Yeah,
stomped
that
her.
paladin.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You touched
Oh
that.
yeah,
stomped the
Didn't
yeah,
you shoot
paladin.
out the vertibird? Yeah.
yeah. You're
Chicken
right.
and
Uh,
Lux has killed many, many people.
Yeah, Chicken and Lux has killed a lot of people.
just like Florida.
Just like
But yeah,
Florida.
like I mean, I guess getting somewhat back on topic. I mean, I think that we do need to try and focus more on getting girls in the game, but like what can we do to like facilitate that a little bit easier?
Be open about like you wanting them to join.
Yeah, yeah,
Be like, hey, I play this game. I really enjoyed this game. You may not like it, but I'd like to spend some time with you, not in a creepy way, not like you're trying to date you way.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
please try it. It's important to me. Please try it. And be inviting because okay, so back on Gamer Girls, there is a subset of girls that play games that are just as toxic as the guys are, and evil and mean and ugly.
Oh, and I love them.
But like so, and I don't know most girls. I don't know Jen if you did or not. The way that I grew up, like girls are mean. And so, like you being unique
Oh,
or
yeah.
like trying to do something or trying to get involved because they will let you in just to watch you fail. Like,
Yeah.
and they'll just so you can be the butt of their jokes. So just like be supportive of, hey, I see that you fell off that cliff without power armor on. Let me help you. Or here's some bird bone serum or something else.
Yeah.
Like, but be kind. Be fucking kind. Like, cannot stress that enough.
Well,
Jen, what about you? What do you think? Oh, or Noah.
Well, I was gonna say on the subject of girls are mean and can also be toxic. Like, if that's who you are, don't fucking be afraid to do that. Be fucking toxic. Holy shit.
Your vibe attracts your tribe.
Yeah, but like, but what I'm saying is like we've got a couple of girls in my Discord that are in our games, and those are some of the most toxic bitches on the planet, and that's why we love them because they can dish it the fuck out better than some of us can, and it's hilarious. Like, I don't
That's
know
a
if you've
different
ever
kind of
seen
toxic, though.
if you've ever seen a dude just get straight up humbled by a woman. It's fucking hilarious.
It is
Done
hilarious.
it. It
Yeah.
feels pretty good too. But I'm talking about toxic to other females, like where
Yeah.
they'll pretend to be your friend to your face, and then they'll sabotage you behind your back.
I mean,
It
dudes
like
do that
Nick
too, though.
Diamond.
Dudes do that too. They're just like really bad at it. Like we're just
Wait a
really
second.
bad at doing that.
Are you telling me my ex was toxic?
You want to put your wife on the mic? We'll talk to her.
No, please don't.
No, we don't. We don't
Don't
want to
get
do
her
that.
riled up.
We don't need to stir up that pot.
My
And
safety
then-
is still important to me.
Yeah, if
In
you
the
stir the
comments over here,
shit pot,
Dice-
you gotta lick the spoon.
Ew. Don't put it on the
But-
fan though. Dice Man over here said they should give them a safe space where they know they have support other players. 100%, absolutely.
Yeah, a safe
and-
space.
Introduce them to your friends and tell your friends not to be fucking creepy. And if your friends are being fucking creepy, call them out on being
Yeah.
creepy.
Yeah. Yeah. And try, like, if you know you have a creepy friend like that. I made that mistake with that one DM. Like, if you know you have a creepy friend, you might need to leave them out of that game. You might need to do it beforehand. You know what I mean? Just like,
Yeah.
this guy is not going to be okay around women because he doesn't know how to be okay around women in his daily life. How is he going to do it in a situation that requires even more of a safe space than just walking down the sidewalk? You know what I mean?
He's probably on a list somewhere.
Yeah, he
he's
probably
on a
is.
list
I
somewhere.
mean, yeah, I don't talk to him anymore because he did some really messed up stuff. But still, like, you know what I mean? It's just like sometimes you have to just say you can't. You know, you're not the right fit if we want to have girls at the table. Even if you don't, the creepy
Right.
guy is probably going to be creepy anyway. You know what I mean? So
It's true. He probably smells weird too, but that's beside the point. But also,
not
like,
fine.
no.
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought. Fuck, I don't even know. I don't even know. I can't with you. He's like,
What? What'd I do? I didn't do anything.
but yeah, for like acknowledge that your friend is being creepy and be like, that's a little rapey guy. Like, please stop.
yeah, yeah,
Like, well, girls like will let a lot of it slide because it's inherent in our everyday lives, or at least with me. I don't know about you too, Jen, but like, just and it's comments that are made that guys don't think are inappropriate. Like I told someone today because he's like, you should smile, and I was like, if you tell me to smile again, I will bite you. Like,
Yeah.
Well, not that I'm trying to sound misogynist in any way, but as
that's
a
who you
man
are.
who's as a man who's been happily married for 13 years to love his life and is surrounded by women on a daily basis, we are idiots.
Yeah, we are idiots.
Sometimes we mean well, and sometimes I'm not saying like 85%, but I'm saying sometimes take it the wrong way.
I mean,
Well, sometimes like, we
communication
blow a lot of
isn't.
it off.
I've definitely had my head chewed off for telling my wife, "Oh, you look really pretty today." Like I fucking didn't yesterday. Okay.
No, you
What I
also
look
have
like
to remember that.
yesterday.
No, you also have to remember though that we're neurodivergent, so like the way we communicate with people is not the same as like neurotypicals communicate to each other. You know what I
Joe,
We
mean?
how many
all
So
times
are.
how many times do I have to tell you you can't use words that big? If I can't spell it, you can't
Sorry.
use it.
neurospicy. We're neurospicy.
So this
Got
is
me
off
I-
diet
topic,
autism.
100%. But somebody told Corbin, my son, they go, "You're so neurotypical," and he goes, "If you're trying to insult me, I don't know what that means, so you can't insult me."
I love it.
He's my kid.
That's awesome.
But we blow a lot of it off because it's a day-to-day thing, and I don't want
Yeah.
to say I don't want every step
But
to be a
you
freaking fight
you
every
shouldn't
single
have to
day.
blow it off though. We should like I mean that's the
Yeah,
thing.
that's
Like that's the
the thing.
issue
You
that you
shouldn't
should have to
have
blow
to.
it off. Yeah.
Which is why I tell my daughter all the time. I said, "Look, if somebody steps to you cross in any way, male or female, fucking swing on them. I'll pick you up. We'll go to Sonic, grab an ice cream, go to the movies. I'm gonna come up to the school and I'm gonna yell at you in front of your principal and tell you, don't ever let me catch you doing that again. And then we're gonna go hang out and play video games. Like it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, in my
And
group,
if they're a dude, always swing.
Always.
Always
Always.
below the belt.
Hey, what, Jen?
with my group, I've got the worst mouth of all of us. And one of them called me all that today, and I was like, it was just one word. We've been talking for 3 years, and he's not said anything about that. But okay, I'll watch my mouth tonight.
They told you to watch your mouth.
Did you say
They
fuck
just said,
again,
"Oh my
Jen?
gosh, your language," and I was like,
What
You're
the fuck are
allowed
you
to
talking
speak.
about?
Like yeah. Like I mean, does he
Yeah,
curse?
so, but-
You know what I mean? Like I guarantee you, everybody else in your group curses. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah. One of them is really funny because he's older, and I know when he starts cussing, I'm like, oh. when he says something like, okay, something he's gotten seriously agitated because I'll
Yeah.
throw in words there just as I'm shooting the shit kind of thing.
yeah.
Just
Oh,
put in
you said
spicy
shit.
words. I put it.
This is
I'll
a
spice it up a little
Christian
bit.
Minecraft server. Stop it.
I'll throw that in there, but it's not like
Yeah.
an every other word thing. But
Well,
sometimes
I've
calling somebody a
told-
jerk just doesn't fit the same way when they're being more than a jerk.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I told my mother, I said, listen, I spent way too long in the army. I use fuck as a comma.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is the most versatile bad word there is.
Fucking
Use it for
bad.
everything. It's my
My
favorite.
my son's first word was duck, and I'm 99% sure it was not duck.
No
It
one
was
knew, probably.
duck.
But I was also growing up told that cussing was not ladylike, and okay, then I'm not gonna be a lady.
My mom was a sailor. That's my excuse.
Yeah. I mean,
My wife
She
knows
legit was,
better than
wasn't
me.
she?
but there shouldn't be any excuses.
Yes,
Why
she
is why does there have to be a difference? I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
Fuck
Because
it.
that's what we live
yeah,
in.
fuck it. Yeah.
We'll
I
get
mean, yeah. Sorry.
but back
I'm-
back to on topic. Like I just my heart really wants to all the young girls in school and all the ones coming up. Like I want them to understand that tabletop is an option for them because even running games, I played exactly 2 sessions of 7th Sea and started running my own tables. That I fell in love with it. But I've learned so much about myself and about how to even resolve conflict between players at my table and learned how to pivot. in life because of, and that sounds really cliche, and I'm not trying to be like a
No, but it's true. It's
inspirational
true.
poster, but I've learned so much from running games for you guys that I can apply in my life.
Yeah.
And I think it's a huge asset, and I think that young girls especially would do well to learn, that they can tell somebody to fuck off without, saying fuck off.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Just say fuck off. That's my vote, though.
Or you could be eloquent and say, if you would please go this direction and do something to yourself, that would be great. Thanks.
What is it? Being a lady is being able to tell somebody to fuck off in a way that they look forward to the journey.
Wow.
Now, wait a fucking minute.
Can you stop at
Noah's
McDonald's on
going
your
through
way?
like all of his like conversations with his wife, like, oh wait,
Yeah, pretty much. I'm learning a lot right now.
wow, she's
We're not going to
Fucking
spill
minute.
all the secrets, though. We won't spill all the secrets.
Wait a fucking minute.
But you can't put a group of strangers on a table together and try to run that and make them have a good time, help them have a good time, and
Yeah.
give them a fun experience without learning how to manage chaos.
yeah. And managing chaos is like a very important skill. You like you said before, pivoting. Like you pivot 1,000 times during a session if you're a GM. Like you're constantly pivoting, and you're constantly thinking on your
Yes.
feet. And I mean, like everyone needs to have that opportunity to learn that way, and also the empathy side of it of just like taking in everyone's emotions at the same time.
So
And
basically,
did I
what I'm
expect
picking
on
up
Wednesday?
here, basically what I'm picking up here is you want your GM to be neurospicy.
It helps.
It's
There's no other way to
helpful.
be. Because whenever your Mr. Gutsy goes through and starts punching a super mutant in the nuts, because that's what you expected to happen at that moment in time, you have to figure out how to deal with that.
And
Shout
anything
out
that
to
you
Matt.
ever plan for the table, we will do the opposite.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah, that's what I
Fun
say. If you really want to plan out a campaign, write what you don't want to happen. Start doing
Yeah,
that so that you can
yeah.
actually get what you want to have accomplished. Play
Well,
out.
Tell
And
them what
funny
you want them
story,
to do.
Yeah, so
I
they
think
cannot
I-
do it.
I think Megan is actually watching. She might be. It was a table that she was playing on, my 7th C table, and I had like 3 very meaningful interactions. I had planned. I'd taken a week to plan this things out. If they chose to do this, they were going to get this. If they chose to, and like it was going to be fun for them. But they were supposed to go to an island. They were supposed to meet the queen. They were supposed to get a quest, and they were supposed to get the fuck out. That was what they were supposed to do. They could have gone 3 different directions after that point. No. They decided because the island was like Tortuga off of Pirates of the Caribbean, so it's just debauchery and
Okay.
just, and the whole crew decided to build forts and militarize the pirates on the island, and then start orphanages to have baby pirates to run the forts. Like it was just going to be a self-feeding thing. And that was not anything that I had said on copy. So I pulled up a map of the island. I was like, y'all pick the spots for the forts. I'm just like writing over here trying to figure out what the fuck I'm doing. And that is the
Talk
moment that I
amongst
learned.
yourself so I can figure this out.
Yes, and that's the moment I learned how to pivot, because I started to get upset about it, and then I watched their faces as they're talking about this, and they were into it. They were enjoying it. They were having these plans, and I was like, okay, this is what they want to do. Fucking let them do it. But then when they finally got off the island, I did put them in contact with a ship that was full of skeletons, and I brought the skeletons back 3 times to full health because I was annoyed. But I was just saying that.
Y'all will pay for this
But-
later.
So that
Well-
explains why you weren't even in the least bit phased when we got to an orgy of sex horses.
Was not. No, because nothing anymore surprises me. What is it? You win D&D when you make the GM bang their head on the keyboard.
Yeah.
Oh, is that why I win every week?
Just
I don't know. Have we
I
heard
take-
Damon Noah a few times?
I take great pride every Wednesday watching Kristen go, God damn it. Because I've
You
seen
fuckers.
everybody do it at least once.
yeah. Yeah.
But I know
Yeah.
I do it every week. And that just warms my heart.
Well, it's because I know Noah comes in with the goal of doing that, and I
Yeah.
need to give him the game that he wants, so I just play into it. You see how this works?
Listen, 100% full disclosure. I was told to come in and bring the chaos in a way that only I could bring the chaos. So you asked for it, lady.
I live for that. Like,
And it
Are you
meshes
having
so
fun?
well with our group.
it does.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's absolutely it both tables because it's fun, especially for me because I am the fucking new guy at the table, right? Both tables have been established like well over a year. Y'all have this group dynamic, and then I get to come in and not necessarily like I never have a goal of like driving a wedge in between members of the group or anything like that, but it's like I listen very fucking intently at every table just so I can go, oh, I can use that later.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
I'm not kidding. Whenever I say that I hit end meeting and my phone rings, and it's Noah. He's like, holy shit. But I also knew that, like, with the Fallout table, I knew that we had more new players than we had seasoned players. And I knew that Noah could come in and kind of help Joe and kind of drive the game forward and add a little bit of things that I hadn't thought of.
Spice.
And that's why, like, I even asked, whenever Joe rolls a critical failure, I'm like, what do you think happens? Because I know that he has very specific is not the right word, ideas for his character. Of how, like, he wants his character to interact with the world around him. And then watching y'all's reaction to their characters is awesome.
Yeah, like it's Joe's idea for let's see. I don't think it was his idea that Eddie lost a finger, but it was his idea recently that he lost an arm. Was that your idea?
Yeah.
Leg?
I think it was the
What
leg.
what well the leg, you lost the arm first.
Yeah.
Then we got the radiation to fix that. And
Yeah.
then the leg was in the
It was
what
in
do
the
you call it?
helicopters in the
Vertibird.
vertibird.
That's it. Vertibird, yeah.
Yeah.
I blame that on chicken nuggets.
It was fun. I
It
mean,
is
I
chicken deluxe. I earned
This
my
is-
name back. I thought we were past this. I'm done with the chicken
No.
nugget and the value meal and the fucking $5 combo and all that bullshit.
McChicken.
I mean, like for me personally, as a player, I like to be in horrible situations because that's the most fun for me. Because
Exactly.
like if everything goes smoothly, like that's not fun. I can play a video game for that. That's why I love Shadowrun because Shadowrun, like you spend like sessions making a plan. You do all this reconnaissance, and then only for the last session where you actually do the mission does it all go awry. Like you spend all that time planning just to watch it all fail, and that's so much fun to me. You know what I mean? Because it's just like the failure is the fun part in my opinion.
Well, it's like
And-
with me and the vertibird, right? Like no bullshit. 30 seconds before
Yeah.
we were ready to start, like Jen was still giving out last week in the wasteland notes, right? And I messaged Casey. I was like, I have an idea. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. Go with it. I need you. Okay. And there was two plans. Either it was A, I was going to get the dice roll I wanted to, and this was going to happen, or B, the dice were not going to be good to me, and I was going to fail miserably, but add some fucking chaos that you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
Somehow the fucking dice worked out.
And you still added the chaos we wouldn't fucking believe.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, but you know what I'm saying? It was like it was that like just perfect fucking scenario of I have led the table to believe that my character is this one thing and fucking hates it. And then I just spur of the moment I was like, okay, so he is afraid of flying. He is afraid of all aerial vehicles and travel. But what if he's like a really good fucking pilot?
It would
And I-
explain, maybe he's got some PTSD from being a pilot.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why he's scared of it now, but he's really good at it, but he's scared of it.
And I had worked it out with a couple of my other tabletop buddies who had nothing to do with this table, and they were like, number one, if it was my game, I'd want to slap the shit out of you. So I was like, well, now I have to do it.
I loved
Number
every
two.
minute of it.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah. And it was like, and number two, it was like, yeah, like that tracks. Like that is
Yeah.
some fucking that's some tabletop bullshit. And
Yeah.
it's just, like I said, if you can make everybody at the table feel comfortable and feel welcome, then you're going to get those moments. Like
Yeah.
I definitely have been at a table where that kind of instant fucking 180 swing would not have been possible.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because some people would have been like, whoa, hold on a minute, time out. You know what I mean? But because we all have this, nice, incredible, working, cohesive relationship with each other, it's just, oh, yeah, no, we'll roll with it.
We've got some women of the wasteland in the chat. Woo!
Woo! Yeah, I put one in the Women of the Wasteland chat. I like that we have a Facebook chat. I need to add you to it. But welcome. So glad you're here.
Yeah, we've
Yay.
got the group thing, and then we've got each platform has their own chat. So I'm in the Women of the Wasteland PC chat.
Nice. Women
Oh,
of the
I
man,
didn't
Wasteland.
post
That's
that
the
one.
whole
I just
thing.
posted to the group.
I
Yeah,
can't
if you
wait
ever
to
see
get
my
my phone
camp,
on
it's-
Wednesday so I can participate in group chats again.
Well, if you ever see my camp on Fallout, I've got a big old WOTW up there because it was.
Oh, really?
It's actually a really good group.
Is it?
Really supportive. Which women in gaming, like that is a group that whenever I first joined that Facebook group, I was like, I don't know about coming here with a bunch of chicks and being, interactive with them. I might just observe, but like if somebody sees a WOTW on somebody's camp, they'll post a picture of it. Hey, who's this? Or and it has been the most supportive. Or hey, I need to find a bobblehead, and you get a whole list, and it's not just go look it up. Did you pay your Google subscription? Like,
So what you're saying is I need to join Women of the Wasteland so I can make some progress.
You're not that kind of girl.
You don't know
I
that.
could
Check
be.
your privilege.
I'm a very yeah.
check your
Excuse me.
privilege.
Check your
No,
privilege.
hold on. Where's that damn picture? I'm gonna find that picture. I'm gonna post it in the group chat, and then you're gonna
Oh,
take
sweet
that
Jesus.
statement back.
Sweet Jesus.
Because
But
I am a pretty princess, and I have the Disney World picture to prove it.
He is such a pretty princess. But Noah and Joe, you don't realize how much I rely on y'all's characters to figure out what the
Oh,
hell I'm
God.
doing. No, it's for real, to figure out what I'm doing in the story. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, what is it going to be fun for everybody? How is this going to play out? And y'all will always throw something that I've never thought about at me, and I'm like, well, fuck, we're doing that, I guess. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I appreciate both of you, and Jen, the fact that you have never played before and you were okay with me sticking you in a pink bikini as a super mutant at the combat zone, like that was like
Yeah, we
I
had
knew from
discussed,
that point forward you were gonna
what's
be
the worst thing is I hate pink. So there we go, pink bikini.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, I play as a super mutant. I'm Sally the super mutant, which most of the time, there's the first female super mutant I've seen in Fallout was in '76, but I think that there was one in another Fallout that I haven't played before. But it's not a thing. So I was like, well, when I saw that I can play different types of characters, I was like, super mutant. That sounds like fun. Sally the super mutant because I like the alliteration of it. And I'm like, I told Kristen, I want a junk jet. It's not in '76, it's in 4, and you can put any junk you find into it. And I happened to get that during one of our first few sessions. She had said, whatever you grab will be, it won't weigh anything. And I rolled the dice, and she goes, there's a junk jet. Like, sweet. I have no junk, but I got a junk jet. And so we used that on a couple of sessions ago. I was like, I don't have any ammo, so I took a table that had a bunch of tools on it and just shoved them into the junk jet and used that. And it worked.
That's my girl
Wait.
Holly Tutali.
You're gonna remember, like you're gonna remember that forever. And
Yeah.
what's it hurt me as a GM to say, absolutely, you can fucking have that,
Yeah.
instead of no, that's not in the book. Like, but see, now I've given you something that that's a fun thing for you, and it's a fun story, and it's part of who you are and your character.
And I like
Yeah.
when you throw your character in the bunch every once in a while. I find
With
that to be
Kazar?
fun. Yes, because she definitely brings the chaos, and
She does.
and because of that character, we learned how aerodynamic frogs are.
It's true, and I had to Google that too. I'm on a list somewhere. I swear to God.
But we
But I mean,
learned
like,
it, and we were like, all right, let's go with it.
and as a
And it was
player, I'm like,
fun.
oh, sorry. As a
No, no,
player,
you're
it's
good.
like, it's just like it's great to see that that we have so many new players who are just like who immediately felt comfortable around us. I just again, that's a good feeling. You know what I mean? And not every table gets that. So it's just kind of nice that everyone is kind of meshing very well together.
Oh
And
yeah,
and
and
having so
I
many girls at a table is not something I've ever experienced. I've played with girls many a time, but like this many girls at a table is very different. And it's better.
And my goal when I knew that we were going to have this many girls and this many new players was for me to come in as the GM and just to be an idiot of, just throwing shit out. Like, this is what we're
Yeah.
doing, or whatever. And then describe it to me. Tell me how you're thinking. Tell me what it looks like in your head. And because I wanted them to be comfortable, and I want them, like, I think Maddie plays on one or two other tables now.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and that makes me so freaking happy that that that, that I was the gateway to that, because gaming is so important to my life that I want everyone else to know what it can do for people.
Yeah. Or at least to have the opportunity. You know what I mean? Like at least like even if you hate it, you have to know that you hate it versus just being pushed out. I think that's the issue. Is a lot of girls aren't even allowed in from the get go.
Yes, and
And
it
those people
made
are
me so mad.
fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I've had it where in a couple, with public teams now, everybody stays on a team, and I've had it where
Yeah.
somebody will be in a group, and as soon as I turn my mic on and say something, they leave.
Yeah.
Like, all right, well, screw you too.
My thing is that
Yeah.
any level
And
600 that wants to play with me can play with me. You know what I mean? Like that's just how it works. Like if you think, yeah, you're going to take all this damage, you're going to be the one staring at the scorch piece because I mean, yeah, whoever wants to do this can do this. I'll keep my
but
level 100 behind in the back,
but my
just
level
getting that
600 will
loot.
also run from a scorch beast going chit 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 chit
I
chit.
mean, everyone does. But,
Ah! And
I
that's,
mean,
I think, another thing that's different between males and females. And I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna sound sexist, and it's gonna sound very close-minded, and I apologize. No, I don't. Uh, I think that the women that help out the new players and help out anybody kind of do it without a strings attached situation.
yeah,
Where, like, I've had guys, once they find out that I'm a chick, drop really nice power armor for me and legacy weapons and stuff like that. Didn't know until I didn't do it till they knew I was a girl. But then after that, it's like, okay, so I gave you this stuff. Can I see your boobs?
yeah.
No, no, you may not.
And that's really weird because like I always helped out everybody. If I see you're under like level 50, I just start vomiting stim packs and purified water at you. You know what I mean? Because it's just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you know what I mean. Like
you're
And
you
not
I'm
need
the
this
wrong.
more than
opposite.
I
I
do.
help nobody.
I help everybody
That
that I
tracks.
can because it's
I see.
like
I
I mean
see level
70.
1. I'm griefing you.
I mean this is kind of off topic, but 76 has been like the most like just like blindly helping people game I've ever seen, especially in the early days. We were all helping each other. It was weird because like it was only us like crazy people who were playing that game, and like I would just like if I
That's
saw
because
somebody's low
Bethesda
level,
broke you.
yeah, yeah, and like if I saw like I still to this day, if I see somebody at low level, I'm just like here, have all this stuff. I just get in front of them, do the wave, and I just like bomb in a bag full of stuff at them. It's just like hey,
Now
you
I
need
do
this.
that,
Hey,
but there's
I
But
another
I would
reason.
never be
Like,
like, hey, show me your boobs after that. That's really weird. Like, I mean, that's like, it's just,
hey,
I
well,
don't know.
no,
I love you guys. I gotta run.
All right.
love you,
We'll
bye.
see
Hearts.
But
Hearts.
you.
I dropped stim packs because they're heavy. I'm like, here, have 50 pounds of stim packs. I know you can't walk anymore. Congratulations. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will
But like,
always because I'm a dick. I will always put a vintage Nuka Shine in whatever bag I drop for new players, especially straight out the vault. I'm like, here's this for you, and here's a Nuka Shine.
Have fun.
I'm helping them explore new places.
oops. I
I'm a saint,
let me go
really.
back. Did the wrong. Sorry
Wait,
about that. I did the wrong.
all right. She
Overlay.
says that she was born in West Virginia. Nice. I've never been. I want to go to West Virginia so bad.
Yeah,
Joe, did
I
you ever
live
go to
right
the
next to.
Mothman Festival?
No, I didn't. I was a little too crazy, so I just decided not to go. So
I think we should all do that next year. Like,
yeah,
as
we
a
should.
table,
Yeah.
we should all go.
I've got family up there, and I posted a picture the other day. because I was having to sort through some old pictures, and I found one of me and two of my boys at the New River Gorge Bridge, and that's my favorite spot in
I
76
saw that
because
on
Oh, I love that.
the
I
wasteland.
love the sight of it.
yeah, it I it's beautiful in person, and I love being able that's somewhere I've been in game. That's somewhere I've been in real life, and
Yeah.
one of my characters has a camp at a spot where you get a perfect view of the bridge, and that's my favorite. That's why I camp right there, is because it's close to a train station, but it also has a great view of the bridge, and I
Yeah.
will not move that camp. I won't do it.
I love I really really love 76 and gaming
Yeah. In
in
general, yeah.
last year before last. One of the girls I met actually through Women of the Wasteland, uh, Bling Queen, if she's on here listening, uh, her and I became really fast friends, and I actually went and spent a week in Michigan with her a
Wow.
couple years ago. Never met her in person, but I went and hung and we took her kids to the zoo. We went and did all these things. But she is, and I send her birthday presents. She sends me birthday presents. Like gaming makes family,
Yeah.
and I will stand by that till the day I die.
Yeah.
Whether it's tabletop or online gaming, it makes family, and I consider you guys my family.
Thank
And
you.
every time that my Fallout chat goes off, I'm like, oh, what's happening in here? Like, what are they doing? It's usually something bad.
And half the time it's just me and Matt talking about cyberpunk stuff, though. Just kidding.
Or that we
No,
share the random memes,
yeah, it's usually me and Noah just bullshitting half the time.
and that's okay. Sometimes you guys are the only interactions. Well, the gaming sometimes will be the only social interactions I get some days because I don't get out of
Yeah.
the house. And my husband told me, "Hey, go play your game. Go play with your friends.
Yeah.
Socialize. You need the distraction and socialization."
Yeah.
And so, I have the 76 that I'll do, and then I have you guys on Wednesdays and now on Mondays too. And having a couple different Facebook, the Women of the Wasteland group is they're supportive, and it's really odd because sometimes when you get a bunch of girls together, they can be toxic to each other. But
Hmm.
I have not seen any toxicity out of this Women of the Wasteland group. It may be there, and I just haven't seen it. But honestly, I haven't. I've seen just very supportive, and
It
I think that that's an amazing thing.
it may also help though that 76 is like a competitive game. You know what I mean? Like it's not for
It's
like
not
the
sweaty.
COD players and stuff like that. It's more for just people who just want to collect stuff. You know what I mean? So it could just be a different personality that is drawn to it as well. You know what I mean? Because it's sort of like it's a different personality that plays it for sure than most other
I agree.
games.
I wonder what the demographic breakdown is. Males
That'd be
versus
interesting.
females for
It'd be
76.
interesting. Yeah, I don't. I
And
have no idea. Bethesda, if you're watching, please let us know.
yeah, please let us know. um, but like even on the days that I don't feel like I can run a game and then I do with you guys, like I'm so much happier whenever I log off. Like
Yeah,
and sometimes I cancel the game because I don't think I can give you what you need from me at that
yeah,
point. Like I can't bring the energy, I can't bring the creativity at that, and that's when I usually would be like, I can't do it today. But
yeah.
there are sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm tired, I don't want to. But then I get there and I do it and I hang out with you guys and I get this. You guys refresh me. Like you guys seriously feed my soul and you'll make me feel better and happier. And I don't know about you guys, but whenever I log off, like I'm pumped. Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a good day.
I'm ready for the next session. As pretty much as soon as it's over
Yeah.
with. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
that makes me happy.
it's a lot of fun. It really is. And even though I do the note taking, and my husband's usually playing on the PlayStation or something while I'm in session, so
Oh shoot.
he hears the chaos. He hears my side of the chaos, but he doesn't hear all of it. And sometimes he'll hear me say, "What the fuck?" or "Can you repeat that?" or "Is
Mhm.
this really what?" Like Noah's hashtag. We've had a couple of those, and
With the alpha
so
coochie. Yeah,
yeah,
that
like
was
that.
fun.
Yeah, Noah has the alpha coochie, and and I'm sure my husband hears that and goes, "What?"
What the
Just
fuck?
don't ask questions.
And it's like that's just that's just what happened. And I love the note taking on it.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun. For me, it kind of helps. It helps me to kind of pay attention to what's going on, and then being able to read the notes back next week or next session is like, okay, oh yeah, that was really funny. Especially for somebody who wasn't able to make the session for whatever reason.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like
And
with Maddie and her play, not being
Yeah.
able to be there some Wednesdays, you know, I hate that she's missing the chaos, and I try to
Yeah.
convey as much of it as I can through the notes, but I know it's not the same of, hearing McChicken, dive bomb with the vertibird as it
Yeah.
is to, reading it and hearing it is different. No
Yeah.
matter no matter how good your imagination is.
Yeah. You kind of have to be there in the moment.
but the fact like the fact that you miss the players that aren't there during session, like, and you want them to be part of it and you want them to know what happened and to feel what happened, says a lot about the table
Yeah.
and about you guys.
And we've had to cancel a couple sessions before because it's like, well, these really important characters aren't going to be able to be there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, we'll not meet. And honestly, though, if there's some nights like that people can be that we don't have a session, I'm good with just logging in and shooting a shit for 2 hours.
I'm
Yeah.
fine with
Yeah.
that. Like,
Because
we
Yeah.
can just
Yeah.
bullshit.
yeah, I can definitely just shoot the shit for 2 hours and be all right with that. Just
Yeah.
to get my um
Socialization in.
yeah, to get my time with you guys.
Yeah.
The
So,
enrichment during
my
closure.
exactly.
Well, and what I try to bring to you guys, and one of the things that's so important to me, I know what it's like to feel like I'm in the way, or feel like I'm a burden to
Yeah.
somebody, or feel like I'm wasting someone's time, or that I'm not valued or seen. And I want to make sure that each of you guys feel like you are valued and you are seen and you're important, and that I value your time that you've taken out of your life to give to me. That's the main thing. Like, if we don't get anything else out of it, that's what I want y'all to feel from me. And I want y'all to be happy and to go home and tell your spouse about whatever game. Oh my god, you won't believe what just happened. That's my goals, is to make sure that you feel safe, valued, and have fun. And that may sound really cheesy and really off the mark of whoever I am in real life, but that's what I want for you guys.
And honestly, yeah, I love our game. I do. I love our game. And I've talked to my husband before. I'm like, I said if my character ends up dying, I've got a backup character in mind that I want to try. So
Yeah.
like, if
Yeah, that'd
something
be fun.
happens to Sally,
Yeah,
it's okay. I've got an idea of, now that I'm more familiar with the game
I love that.
of what I want to do next.
I love that. And with with girls, I know we're talking about women in gaming. With girls, and with but even with people with PTSD, because I have PTSD, I have ADHD. I think we all have our set of neurospicy. And oh, misery, I love you. Um, what was I saying? I hold on, reset, Kristen. Oh, it's hard. Sorry, I got distracted. ADHD. Uh, it's hard for women and people that are neurospicy to make meaningful connections in the real world,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and to make, because I will talk to anybody, but a lot of people aren't like that. They can't just go out to somebody on the street and make a friend and
Yeah. I can't
collect
do that.
people.
I can't do that.
Really? Like, see, I collect people, like, not in a creepy way, maybe in a creepy way, but so Joe, like, the connections you make on your tabletops are meaningful and important, and you need that to be a safe, fun place
Yeah.
for you. Oh, I love you,
Yeah.
misery. Anyway, so I was just rambling, but like, whenever I found out that my dad had brain cancer, when my dad got diagnosed, I was on Fallout 76 when my stepmom called me and confirmed that it was brain cancer, and I was playing with. I think I was actually playing. Misery, was I playing with you and Sandra and a couple of other people, and they held space for me and they watched my back while I muted my mic and cried and made sure that I didn't get attacked by things, and just held that space for me and let me process that and protected me. So I'll say it again: gaming builds family.
Hmm.
Amen.
It does. And it's so funny because even if you don't know these people's real names, they're still, like I'm Gomunk. I've been
Yeah.
Gomunk for over 20 years. So, hearing it in game, I've had that nickname since high school. So hearing that in game, I'm Monk. I'm always going to be Gomunk. And that's, that's that's how people know me, and it's good. And so hearing that, like, there's people I play with, I don't know their real names, and it's okay because
Yeah.
I know who they are, or at least who they tell me they are, and they seem genuine about it. And if that's who they are, that's great. And if that's who they just want to be, then that's fine too. I don't know any better. I'm probably not going to meet these people in real life, and it's fine. We chat, and they're still friends.
Yeah.
And if they're not there, you still miss them. And you're like,
Absolutely.
hey, I haven't seen you in forever. How are things? And
Right. Where you been? What's going
um,
on? Well, and I'm gonna real quick ask the women in the chat because I know we've got some women in the wasteland and some other ones in here. Have y'all had any like bad experiences, good experiences with being women in gaming, tabletop, or video games, or anything else? Like, tell a story. Somebody say something.
yeah, tell us the good, the bad, the ugly.
Because
We
Joe's just a
we know
bystander at this point.
Yeah, I'm a bystander.
he's the host.
We will have
He
to
is the
wrap
host.
up here soon because we're at like an hour and a half, but
Yes.
we could play this out.
Real quick. Watch, everybody's gonna ignore me. Be like, no, I don't want to talk to Kristen. She's dumb. Okay, I'll talk to myself. It's fine.
We have a bunch of people in the chat
Um,
still.
Yeah, we do. Do we? I can't see.
Yeah.
I don't even know
Yeah.
what to look at.
If you're at backstage, you can look if you go to users in chat
Oh, I don't
up
even
at
know
the
how to look
top, little two
backstage.
people, peoples. I barely know how to use backstage. But yeah, hopefully somebody's
I
typing something.
hopefully, if not, I mean that's fine too. We can bail,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
give it a couple minutes and we'll.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for every single girl that I encounter that is just wanting to play and wanting to be part of a community that they might not have access to. Oh, there's misery. Do you see misery breakups and her dad passing, and she adopted 4 kids, and
Wow.
she's got some gaming support.
Shout out to Misery.
Yeah. Like,
that is awesome. And yeah,
Yeah.
they can be like family. And sometimes you have that where you have that anonymity behind online gaming can sometimes help you. You can tell people things that you may not tell other people just because you have that
Yeah.
anonymity.
Yeah.
And that's been sometimes it's therapeutic. So sometimes I'll vent about my kids because I have 18, 20, and less than 30 days from 21.
Wow.
Um, but if one of them's being an asshole, I'm like, oh my god, I love my children, I love my children, I love my children, but this is being an asshole right now.
well, there's something to be said though about telling it to a group of people online you're playing with instead of
Yeah.
calling your mom or telling your friend that sees your kid every day, because you don't want them to look at your child any differently.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, looks like that was. Thank you, Misery, for your comment.
Well, should we sign off then?
I think we should. I
All
had
right.
fun today.
Well,
Thank you guys.
yeah,
Yes,
it was a
this has
blast.
been very fun.
We had a ton of people view today, so thanks for everybody who followed us and watched us. It was a lot of fun. We'll see you guys again in a week. If you have any
Yes.
questions or if you have any kind of follow up at all, just let us know, and we'll, you can message me
Comments,
either on
concerns,
Twitch.
questions.
Yeah, you can message me on Twitch or
Criticism we could might
yeah,
make
a
it
little bit.
constructive, please.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you guys so much. It was a blast. We'll be here every week at Monday, and I guess we'll see some of you guys next week. Thanks a lot.